Lauren says part of the problem is a lack of lighting. From her carport to her apartment, which is about 75 feet away, there are just two lights. One is on the roof of the carport, the other is above her door. Police say crimes like what happened at that apartment building are not rare. Using our spot crime tool on KSPR.com, I was able to find that in less than a 3-week span, there were 300 assaults, burglaries, robberies, and shootings in Springfield. Police say that they've discovered a common thread amongst those violent crimes. Imagine that these squares in the sidewalk represent Springfield's different neighborhood associations. Now, the outline that you see in purple is how beats used to be divided pretty randomly. So one officer may have his or her hands in various different neighborhoods.
Let me just put this in perspective for you. This is 27 pounds of food, reflective of the 27,000 pounds of food the kitchen gave out 2 Novembers ago. The following November, that number grew to 36,000 pounds. Then 54,000 pounds just last month. That's nearly double the amount of food since 2007.
For comparison purposes, this is a 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom, 2,100 square foot home. Pretty standard. So basically, 34 of these will fit into just one of those. Just how big of a deal is this game for business? Well, for the second time in Ebbetsfield South history, the back room is opening to the public. There's 100 seats back here, and they expect to fill them all. Stewart says the problem is, where does it stop? In addition to pseudoephedrine being pulled behind the counter, so was iodine, because it was being abused. Stewart says very likely cough syrup could be next, because it has a drug in it that some teenagers are misusing. The government is already trying to get rid of multi-symptom medications, and then there's Tylenol. Even it has negative side effects. Lori has become somewhat of a fixture at Grant Beach Park. These days, it doesn't take much for her to scare away suspicious-looking characters. She still writes down license plates, but typically, she just observes. Eventually, they take notice and usually walk away. Each one of these dogs is on heartworm prevention. At best, one, but more than likely neither. At Dr. Hale's practice alone, only 40% of the regular patients use some kind of heartworm prevention treatment. And if you include all the dogs he sees for just emergencies, that number drops to 20%. Not all teacher-student contact on Facebook is prohibited by this law, just direct contact. For example, a teacher cannot be friends with a student on their private Facebook profile, where they can pick and choose their friends and send private messages. But they can set up a fan page. It's open to the public. Anyone can like it. That's exactly what the Nixa Band has done. Taney County needs the money for upgrades to its system as well. For example, if you call 911 from a cell phone anywhere in the county, your location cannot be pinpointed. You have to be able to describe to dispatchers where you are, which can be tough, especially if you're a tourist. Like, I know we're somewhere off Highway 176, but I'm not exactly sure where. All I see around me is power lines, woods on either side of me, and of course the KSPR car, which is not very helpful. After the boy received a number of sexual text messages from a number he did not recognize, he finally decided to call it. This is what he heard. Think about the different facets of assistance, like you're having a meal. See, TANF is just one portion of that meal. Take it off your plate and you're not going to starve. You might just add a little bit more to something you already have, or possibly put some new items on your plate. Some clever residents say a change in speed is simply not necessary. They say 30 is already too slow and 20 is downright ridiculous. In fact, using this portable speedometer on my phone, see right there? I got up to 20 miles per hour on a pair of rollerblades. Firefighters say they may never know for sure what started the fire, but they believe a wayward piece of glass located near the barn on the property may have been responsible. If the glass hits the sunlight just right on a day as hot as today, with temperatures as high as they are, and the ground as dry as it is, a fire can start almost immediately. There are mementos from the old building everywhere, from the most significant, a statue of the Virgin Mary pulled from the rubble, to the door decorations that survived in a closet during the tornado. Before Betts captured the dramatic conclusion to this chase on her cell phone camera right here at this intersection, Will Coxon took quite the path to get here. He started at Fort Leonard Wood, where he spent about 3 minutes on post before heading over to the Missouri S&T campus. The alleged police officer approached the woman's car. He told her she was going 43 and a 40, and he asked to see her license and registration. He took the documents and returned to his own vehicle. A few minutes later, the man came back. He told the woman she had a clean driving record, and he handed her back her paperwork. But in there was something a little extra, a card with his name and phone number on it. Only if a person or group who is not the candidate is responsible for the content of the ad, then we as a television station can legally decide not to air it. Here's where things get a little confusing. See, the sexual encounters allegedly occurred in 3 different counties, but Jackson is only charged in 2. See, some of the incidents happened in Elkland, that's Webster County, at Jackson's home. Then there were others in Conway, but on the Dallas County side in a field. And finally, Jackson admitted to other incidents in Lebanon, that's Laclede County.